Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. Before we start with the main topic of today's video, I have to feature some amazing new photographs snapped by astronauts aboard the International Space Station. And so as they were flying hundreds of miles above Earth around the globe, they happened to be in the perfect position to capture some just breathtaking and really sad when you think about it photographs of the fires happening in California. And so in this very rare perspective here of these devastating fires that are burning in Ventura and Los Angeles counties, astronaut Randy Bresnik was asked if he would be able to see the SoCal fires from space. And he said yes, unfortunately he could. And that hopefully the Santa Anas would die down soon. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Santa Ana refers to high winds in California. If you're from Cali, you know what this means. It's basically extremely windy. And so when you hear someone mention the Santa Ana, that's usually what they're talking about, at least in this instance. And so in these mesmerizing new photographs, you can literally see all the way from space the smoke billowing up from the coast. Even when the camera is zoomed all the way out, you can still see it. And, almost reminds me of a volcano or something like that. And so, amazing, breathtaking photos, but again, sad. My heart goes out to anybody in this area. I got a lot of friends and viewers out in Cali, so I want you guys to know our hearts are with you. Stay safe out there. And indeed, hopefully these winds will die down soon, along with these spreading fires. So, amazing stuff. Now, to the main topic of today's video, a mysterious new photograph that has hit the web, posted by a user on Reddit, that is displaying some very mysterious lights caught in Michigan back in 1997. The title of the Reddit post says, quote, "What I thought was a prank from my boss shocked me." And the user who posted this image goes on to say, quote, "I was having a drink with my boss in his office today. I'm a conspiracy theorist, and he picks at me from time to time regarding some of the stuff I share with him. So he goes, quote, 'Did I ever tell you my UFO story?' I laughed and said, 'Okay, thank you for making fun of me.' His face got serious, and he goes, 'Listen to this story.' He goes on to say that 20 or so years ago, he was driving in northern Michigan near Glen Harbor at around 2:30 a.m. in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden, his entire car gets lit up. He described this insane light and shrieking noise that hurt his ears. And he's going on, and I'm waiting for him to laugh and be like, 'Gotcha,' and admit that it was just a joke. But he added further that he had been taking pictures of northern Michigan because photography was his hobby, and so he always had a camera on the passenger seat of his car. And so after seeing these amazing lights, he said he got out of his car and that this craft was hovering over him for what seemed like a very long time, and that he was afraid. He said he then remembered that he had his camera, and so he took it out and said he took pictures. Still, I was waiting for him to laugh, and I gave him a, 'yeah, okay' look. Then he rolled his chair over to his file cabinet and started rustling around folders." The Reddit user finishes his post by saying, quote, "See the photos attached to this post. The hairs stood up on the back of my neck and my arms, and my jaw dropped." And so there you have it. That is what the original post stated. It's what it consisted of when it was posted to Reddit. Other people commenting on how insane this photo was. Now, right off the bat, as I'm looking at it, it does seem to be a photograph that would likely have been taken back in 1997. Because I was alive all back then. I'm a kid of the 80s, and so I've used many photos. I have books of my own full of photographs. People back in the day, they actually used to take pictures, get them developed at the store, and then put them individually into photo books. Most people don't do that today. And so when looking at this, it became obvious to me that this looked, legit with the era that it's said to have been taken. Others who have looked at it on Reddit have agreed. One user states, quote, "Wow, this has to be one of the most interesting nighttime UFO pictures I've seen. Thanks for uploading." To which the uploader replied, quote, No problem, I couldn't wait to show them to everyone in this thread the moment I saw the pics. I was honestly shocked and could not believe that of all people my boss had seen something like this with his own eyes and had pictures. I asked him, "Are you sure it was not a helicopter?" And he said, quote, "No effing way. This thing stood still with zero movement and sounded like a screaming banshee." And for those of you out there wondering kind of what you're looking at, obviously we see the street here, we see trees, forestry in the background, and we see these bright shining lights shining down from something. And according to the Reddit poster, he elaborated by saying, quote, "My understanding is that we are looking only at crazy bright lights emitted down to the ground from a craft somewhere above, and that the craft itself couldn't be photographed because it was pitch black darkness out." And so obviously, whatever the craft was creating the light, it didn't have any lights of its own on it. So the light you're seeing here is coming from something, but whatever it's coming from, we just can't see in the photograph. Now, some have said that these sort of look like something called light pillars. And for those of you who don't know, a light pillar is an atmospheric optical phenomenon in the form of these vertical bands of light, which appear either above or below a light source. And the effect is created by the reflection of light on thousands or millions of tiny ice crystals that are suspended in the atmosphere. The light can come from the sun, usually when it's near or even below the horizon, or could also come from the moon, or more terrestrial sources like streetlights. However, users on Reddit were quick to point out that while at first they did look like light pillars, once again, in order to have light pillars, there has to be something actually creating the light needed for the pillars to appear. With one user elaborating, saying, quote, "By looking at the pic, we see multiple light pillars, which show that light sources are equally spaced around the object. It looks like it must be either circular or triangular, judging by the intensity of the light being brighter in the middle and slightly less so on the edges, and that the smoke creating a crater effect shows that the object may be solid and circular." And so it actually looks like we have 3 separate photos here. Originally, I thought this was just a different shot of the same photo. However, when you look at them closer, you can notice that the smoke dissipation is slightly different in all 3. And so, yeah, this is what we know so far. It's a very intriguing set of photographs. According to the Reddit poster, the photos were taken after the craft had moved over the photographer's car, and just as they were moving off in the distance, he snapped 3 photographs here, maybe more. We just have the 3 that were posted before finally moving away and disappearing into the distance. So it truly is amazing, especially for the fact that these photographs have not been shared after all of these years, which happens a lot actually. People will capture things on video or photographs, especially back then when UFOs and this phenomenon were not as popular as it is today. People would just keep this stuff locked away, and in many cases never show it to anyone. So who knows how many vintage pieces of photos or films are out there that have truly captured something magnificent. So, if one of you out there have such a piece of footage that you always kind of worried about featuring, do not worry. We are in a new age with millions of new open-minded people who are here to find out the truth, and who will not ridicule you. So if you got it, please send it in. You guys tell me what you think about these photos. Have you seen something similar? Put it down in the comments. I'll post a link to the original Reddit post down below. And on your way out, don't forget to stop by and check out our online merch shop, where I've got a ton of awesome winter Secureteam gear, from hoodies to winter caps to buttons, shirts, you name it. It's getting cold out there, and with Christmas right around the corner, what could be a greater gift for your loved one than an official Secureteam hoodie or shirt that will no doubt show that you support this search for truth, and you get to look slick doing it. So check it out on your way out. I really appreciate it, guys. Strange things happening all over the world, so subscribe, stay safe, and I'll see you back in just a bit.